Welcome to The Analysis. Today, we're diving into a genuinely mind-bending medical and scientific mystery that will make you question the very limits of human psychology. We're talking about a bizarre case from 1985 in northern India, the case of a young woman named Sumitra. Now, this isn't just some local folklore. Her story literally caught the attention of top-tier university researchers and sparked massive debates about identity and memory. We're not here to tell a spooky ghost story. Instead, we're going to look at exactly how rigorous psychiatry and strict scientific research handle phenomena that seem totally unexplainable. Specifically, we'll focus on the scientists' interpretation, how they medically classified this so-called possession, and the incredible social class differences that shocked everyone involved.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with Sumitra's mysterious death and return, then move into the medical and psychological classification of her case. Next, we'll look at the shock of the social class differences, explore the scientists' hypotheses, like fraud or hidden memory, and finally, we'll reveal the ultimate scientific conclusion.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, the mysterious death and sudden revival of Sumitra in Sharifpura.
So our subject is Sumitra, a 17-year-old illiterate village woman from Sharifpura. Back in July of 1985, she suffered from severe seizures, and suddenly her pulse completely stopped. Her family and the entire village thought she had passed away, and actually started preparing for her funeral. But just minutes later, she woke up. And here is where the timing and location become absolutely crucial. When she woke up, she didn't recognize her own family. She claimed her name was Shiva, a woman who had been murdered in a town called Dibyapur, about 100 kilometers away. The crazy part? The real Shiva had died violently in May, just 2 months before Sumitra revived. Fast forward to October, rumors spread, and Shiva's father visited Sumitra. Amazingly, she instantly recognized him as her dad.
Moving on to Section 2. How do you even begin to medically classify this? Well, it's time to bring in the experts.
I mean, how could an illiterate village girl who had literally never left her hometown know intimate details about a dead woman 100 kilometers away? The scientific credibility here is what makes this case so fascinating. The investigation was conducted by researchers from India's National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, teaming up with the University of Virginia's Psychiatry Department. We're talking about highly specialized doctors using a strict scientific method. They interviewed over 53 different people just to cross-check every single detail.
From a medical standpoint, psychiatrists and anthropologists usually classify these events as possession syndrome. Basically, it's a condition where a person undergoes such a marked behavioral change that they seem to completely lose contact with their ordinary personality. In Western medicine, experts often link this to hysteria or multiple personality disorder. They look for psychological motives, like escaping internal conflicts or trying to improve their social status. And naturally, this was the very first framework scientists used to evaluate Sumitra.
Which brings us to Section 3, the absolute shock of the social class differences and her drastic shift in behavior. Now, what's really interesting here is the massive sociological shock of it all. We're looking at a deeply class-divided society in India. Sumitra didn't just claim to be someone else, she totally adopted the habits of a completely different social class. Originally, Sumitra belonged to the Thakur caste. She lived a rough, illiterate village life and rarely ever wore shoes. Shiva, on the other hand, was from the high Brahmin caste, had a BA degree, and had the manners of an educated urban woman. After waking up, Sumitra suddenly shifted to these high-class Brahmin behaviors. She was suddenly reading and writing Hindi fluently, changed her sari style to match an urban look, and even started wearing sandals. A behavioral shift this complex requires a monumental amount of prior knowledge.
To really put this into perspective, listen to this quote. During a visit with a Brahmin family, Sumitra actually said this to her real husband. "Please wash the plates and utensils you used. You are a Thakur, and they are Brahmins. It does not matter for me because I am one of them." I mean, wow. She was suddenly showing distinct caste snobbery toward her own husband. This vivid shift into a higher social tier completely baffled researchers when they tried to pin down a mundane psychological motive.
That leads us to Section 4, the scientists' hypotheses. Was it fraud or maybe hidden memory? Let's see how they systematically eliminated the mundane explanations. Faced with this puzzle, the researchers had to strip away the emotion and use a strict process of elimination. They tested 4 main hypotheses to figure out how she got this information. Was it a coordinated fraud or hoax? Was it cryptomnesia, also known as source amnesia? Could it be a secondary personality with paranormal knowledge? Or
Genuine possession? Let's break these down.
The researchers spent a ton of time on cryptomnesia. If you don't know, this is when your subconscious picks up information, like from a passing rumor or newspaper, without you even realizing it, and later uses it to construct a secondary personality. The team spent months tracking trade routes, local gossip, and newspaper circulations to see if Sumitra could have subconsciously absorbed the info about Shiva's death.
But they hit a total dead end. Fraud was completely ruled out because the two families were completely unknown to each other, and Sumitra's family never tried to profit off the situation. As for cryptomnesia, well, you have to ask yourself, how can you learn tacit knowledge, like how to fluently read a language or recognize specific faces, from a passing rumor? You just can't.
So that leads us to our fifth and final section, the scientific conclusion: reincarnation or possession. Here is the controversial verdict.
The crucial point is this. After ruling out fraud, multiple personalities, and hidden memory, what was left? Well, check out this number, 23. Sumitra correctly recognized 23 different people known to Shiva, either face-to-face or from old photographs, without a single hint or cue. She even knew their private nicknames. How do you explain that using conventional medicine?
The scientific conclusion published by the authors was neutral, but absolutely shocking. They officially concluded, the subject demonstrated knowledge of another person's life obtained paranormally. Now, they weren't saying ghosts are real or backing a specific religion, but they transparently admitted that she possessed knowledge and abilities of a dead woman, acquired in a way that completely defies all of our conventional medical and psychological explanations.
Which leaves us with this massive question to think about. Do you think Sumitra's scientifically documented case actually proves the existence of paranormal knowledge? Or is human psychology and the subconscious mind simply vastly more complex than modern medicine currently understands? Let us know what you think, and thanks for joining us as we explored this mind-bending mystery